broadcasting faith, truth, and inspiration throughout the Caribbean and beyond. Faith, truth, inspiration.
You're listening and viewing Living by the Word Radio.
Living by the Word Radio.
Where faith comes alive. In this place, whenever two or more of us gathered in His name, I found the world is all the same.
Good evening. Welcome to another Level Up Your Marriage with Paul and Raquel Blake out of Jamaica. And we are indeed happy to be on here tonight, looking at all things pertaining to marriage and relationships. We are elated to have with us our guest on this evening, and we will introduce him in a little while. We are looking forward to having a very, very robust discussion this evening on the topic of husbands, navigating husbands' mental health. Last week, not last week, the week before, we looked at navigating wives' mental health. And, June is Mental Health Month, and we want to dive into those different avenues of mental health and what it means, especially in the context of marriage, especially Christian marriages. And so tonight we are on the ball again, looking at navigating husbands' mental health. Raquel, welcome. How are you doing?
Good evening. Thank you for welcoming me. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Welcome to you too. Welcome to our audience. It's good to be back on Level Up Your Marriage. So this evening we have a special guest, a friend, a colleague, uh, with us this evening. His name is Andre Allen Casey, and it gives me great pleasure to tell you a little bit about him. He's a Jamaican counseling psychologist, counselor, speaker, and his work focuses heavily on mental health, marriage, and building healthier families. He brings both training and experience to what he does, having studied Bible and counseling at Heritage Christian University and completed his master's in counseling psychology at the Northern Caribbean University. One of the things Andre is passionate about is helping people understand how stress and emotional struggles affect not just individuals, but relationships and families. He has spoken about how unresolved issues can show up in our homes and marriages if we are not careful. He does a lot of work with couples, helping them to communicate better, work through challenges, and reconnect in meaningful ways. What I personally love is that he lives what he teaches. He has been married for 30 years to his wife
Wow.
Renee, and he has a daughter, Priscilla, who is a medical doctor. So through his counseling, speaking, and community work, including platforms like Impacting Jamaica and podcast, he continues to make a real difference in people's life. So we are definitely in for a treat, for something meaningful this evening, as we invite Andre to join our conversation about navigating husband's mental health. So welcome, Andre, my friend and colleague and everything in one, right?
Thank you very much.
Come on, Dre, welcome. Happy to have you on the program tonight.
Thanks,
I didn't realize that you were married for all of 30 years.
Yeah, well, I don't quite reach there yet.
You don't quite reach there yet. But nearly there.
30th.
Yeah, 30th. Yeah, right.
Tell you, well, that's a long time. That's a long time. And I know that you're happily married, so I don't have to
Oh,
guess.
yeah, that is true.
Yes.
I'm a friend, you know?
That's good.
All right, so this evening we are talking about navigating a husband's mental health. Last time we did the wives, and we had Miss Nadine Parma. I don't know if you know her, but she was on the program the last time, and we had a wonderful time. This they need, and so this evening is the same. Uh, Andre, we know that men carry a lot of burden in terms of the family being providers and protectors. and all of those things, and especially in a Caribbean context where sometimes the role of husbands and men in general is often played down, and oftentimes it seems as if men are not doing what they ought to be doing. But if you do the research, men are really stepping up in the Caribbean, and in doing so, men are also navigating their families and navigating marriage and all of that. And just as we discussed the last time, that having this kind of responsibility can take an emotional toll on wives. And we want to flip the script this evening and look at it from the husband's perspective, because we also understand that men can carry a lot. And in the context which we live, sometimes men tend to bottle up a lot of things, tend not to talk, don't express emotionally as women do. And so we want to look tonight at how we navigate husband's mental health. And I know that you have some tips to give us, some practical tips. So we want to center the discussion around that. Remember, if you are on, you can leave your comment in the chat. You can ask your questions in the chat, and we will surely engage you in the discussion. Yes, Andre, what are your opening thoughts on this subject of navigating men's mental health?
You know, I really, and especially in the context of marriage, but I'm going to carry it wider and then carry it
No
to.
problem. As wide as you want it.
But I think sometimes the the expectation where society is concerned about who men are and what is expected of them, and the fact that they have to try and live up to these expectations, that alone can be somewhat challenging. And so
Yes, true.
sometimes men do not even, I'm going to say this, and I'm not promoting anything effeminate, right? But notwithstanding, the softer side of men are frowned upon. And
True,
so,
true.
I was going to say the female side of the man,
The softer side
The,
works
so- the,
well.
so- the softer side works.
right? And so they almost do not have an arena to express that. And unfortunately, whenever they feel overwhelmed, they that they have to man up. And I'm
Man
like,
up, yes,
yeah, and
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
you can't man down. I'm serious, and that's the reason why it, life becomes so hard, for men, because the society says you must man up. I don't care what is happening to you. The softer side of you, no, don't cry, don't mourn, get it done. And so, having, and even where their own friends are concerned, because of those expectations are still high, and of such now, you know, they have to play the role, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the wider side now. But even though comes down now to being a husband and or even being a father, wow, the responsibility now is even more, right?
Yeah.
True.
And and so listen, the provider protector thing is very high, and
Yes.
therefore, as a result of that, they have to meet those needs. They have to meet those needs,
Wow.
and almost as if to say, I'm going to say this, and especially in our Jamaican context, rather, I've heard folks says, him is a good man, him is a good provider.
And that's where it stops.
And it seems as if I'm going to speak nobly about the husband, or even his role as a father. Provider is the hallmark of his existence.
True, true.
He's a
As if,
ATM machine. You know,
as if he's not a,
seriously.
as if he's not a human being.
That's exactly right. So him better don't lose him job. No, I'm serious. Him better don't lose him job because then it's like, listen, yeah, all of a sudden I don't recognize any other trait about him,
Yeah,
and
his,
or
his
no
worth,
trait.
his worth is diminished.
His worth is now diminished, right? And
Yeah.
so, and so, can you imagine how where the male now feel like they have to hit it, they have to maintain that, they have to do their part. They don't have a space to say, um, something. I need a break. you know, you know,
Yeah.
they don't have a space to say, I can take a time off. No, if you take a time off,
Andre,
you must list.
something you said a while ago. Something you said. Yeah, well, you said many things, and I want to put all of them together because I want you to, zero in on something based on what you said. Because of this, not being able to tap into the softer side of who we are as men, as we navigate the space of family and marriage and all of that. Is that one of the reasons why sometimes as men, when we are overburdened, we tend to go to the extreme?
Most definitely. And not
Because
only not only to the extreme, but also, um, we are the very persons who are complaining about our failures. We take the wrong bar for it. you know,
yes, yes.
or we're going to find outside relationship or whatever. As I said, go to the
Hmm.
extremes. Why? Because it's not that I didn't even try. I tried to be vulnerable, but instead I heard that I must man up.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I
So,
Wow.
feel and I feel like, wow, I don't have anything or anyone
and a
that
safe space, no
I don't
safe
have a
space.
safe
Eh?
space where I can cry, you know, where I can even admit that I have failed. I mean,
Hmm.
who does that? and
Why true? Yeah,
So,
not
who
only
does
that,
that?
no, you talk about extreme, and the man who if he had the space to say I have failed, chances are you'd have less um, um, um,
Extremities.
extremities.
so
And one of them
Andre,
start with S. But anyway,
Yes, yes, true,
but less
true.
extremities. You'd
yeah.
Yes.
have a whole lot if he had the space, where somebody, where society, all and sundry, the female, the children, all I'm just saying here, the males would say, hey, yes, man, you can be down. You can feel hurt. You can't think that. You can come talk. We're not going to judge you. Just because you lose a job, it's not a job make you. You know,
Yeah, true.
you're a person, and you're going through a hard time right now. Let me support you. No, because that has not been provided as much as it is provided for the females. I'm not comparing here, but that's the
Hmm.
truth. Then you find that, hey, um, um, not even my friend is going to be there to say, Oshman. And I'm just saying here, this is
Yeah.
why their mental health is so important, and they have to find
Yes.
now arenas and means to strengthen that. Why? Because the society is not taking any prisoners.
Yes.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. So yes, definitely, definitely. Some good nuggets so far. So you made a point about that's why the mental health is so important. So what's one thing that you could, even as we're talking about the fact that the men feel like they're ABMs rather than individuals, they don't have a safe space. And I like I like your introductory comments, Andre. So how can we, what's one thing can you share that speaks to this quality of mental health that is required, that is necessary for men and for husbands? How would you delve in that?
Well, I mean, if you're not ready to talk about points, I will say that I think, you see, every husband, every male,
Yes.
I used to do this. It was like this first. And I tell you what, this, yeah. At first, when my family used to see this, they didn't understand what it meant. And when my hand get tired, it come like this. It looked like me I worry, but I wasn't worrying. You know what I was doing? For me, I call this my headspace. I
Okay.
in the space only my head alone can hold. Nobody head can come inside. But here's our problem. We make the nature of relationships regulate and decide whether or not a head come into this space, another head
Yeah.
come into this space.
True, true. That's true.
And so I am saying this again to answer your question. Listen, what one thing I'm saying is, Raquel, nothing is wrong in finding out what you think about how it must be unfolded. Nothing is wrong with that. But I must make the decision as to whether or not again take it on. Again, either save or take it fully.
True.
I'm not going to allow the nature of my relationship with you to to remove my head and put your head on my body.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Serious.
I'm just saying you have to protect. So what one thing I'm saying, protect your head space, man. Yeah, man. Do this. And sometimes when people are saying things and it shouldn't matter who it come from. Your mother, your brother, your father, I don't care who your husband, well in this case your wife, but I'm just saying the children, all I'm just saying, because sometimes they're going to be saying something to you. And I'm not saying that what they're saying is that correct, but at that point in time, it's not giving you no peace.
Yeah, true.
At that
True.
point in time, so listen, you're not in a space to hear it right now. So you have to protect it. And they say, well, why I'm here, it's true, but remember process.
Yeah.
Right now,
You
we
know,
need to
Andre,
change. No.
I always look at something that that Jesus did when in his ministry. Where
Take
at
for
one
himself.
point in time when the ministry became overwhelming,
Him take for
the
himself.
Bible says that
Take one
he
sec.
took away himself
Yes.
and went to a
Of
quiet
course.
place.
Yes.
And I look at that if Jesus, the Son of God, understood that he needed a quiet place, then how much more we as men and as husbands,
A long time Jesus have put him hand on him head.
right? So,
And he's not
and
worried about it.
I like the example. I like the example you use because what it means that our quiet spaces don't have to look the same,
That's right.
but you need a quiet space.
That's
Right?
Listen, and all I'm just saying, it doesn't mean that what the persons are, what folks are saying to us at that point in time. I'm not
It's not
saying
valid.
it's
Yeah,
not valid.
true.
It is
Yeah,
fully valid, and a matter of fact, it must be executed. Make
yeah,
no
true,
mistake, it
true.
must be executed.
Yeah,
But all I'm saying, it's not all the time you're at the place to receive it fully.
yeah, true.
Sometimes they say you just need a deep breath. You just need to understand. You need to fully accept it. No, I can't use it this word. I can use it this way. You need to own it.
Yes, true. Very true.
And
Very
and
true.
so and so and so ownership of it is different from accepting it.
Yeah,
Because
true,
when I
true.
accept it, is your information you're giving to me, and so I'm
Hmm.
going to have to make that adjustment to satisfy your information. It's when
Hmm.
it's when I own it. It don't matter who it come from. I might want know. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
yeah. It don't matter
yeah.
who it come from. I might want know because I own it. So now I feel. So my responsibility in executing it is no different. I'm not
Yeah,
doing it
true.
for
Very
you.
true.
I'm doing it in spite of you, cause I
Yeah.
own it. And so we say that's how. And when we reach there, it is easier for us to have,
Yeah.
our mental equilibrium, if I can use, if I can use that term, you know,
Yeah,
and
and even in owning it, Andre, in that space, you also have to decide how much of it you want to take on.
ah,
because
you see,
because most of the time you can't take on all of it one time. You have to decide how much of it you want to take on, and at what time do you want to take it on. And it's
indeed,
not that you're not going to take it on, but you have to decide how, because at the end of the day, taking it on and own it is when you work it out, it's going to have to be beneficial for you and the persons who are around you.
that's right,
And if you
that's right.
try to do it all at one time, then you are everybody else will suffer.
Yeah, yeah. You know, a matter of fact, I have this word. I don't think it is a word in the English language, um, or in the dictionary. But it's me just put two words together, and it's called defeated resignation. And the idea behind defeated resignation is where you resign yourself to do something because you are defeated.
Yeah.
You don't really own it. And I only
Yeah,
own it.
true, true,
You
true,
accept it, you
true.
know. You say, all right, boy, I'm not to do it here still because what else me for do?
Might,
That's
might
defeated
as well.
resignation. When you make a statement like that, what else you want me to do? We don't know what else to do. Something like that, again. Defeated resignation. You never own it.
Yeah, true,
Which
true.
mean that at some stage you might grow in resentment. At some
Hmm.
stage you might grow in resentment. But it's when you own it, folks. Oh gosh, man. You don't have the mental health problem. Your
It's
mental health
really
problem if you don't own it because you
Yes,
really don't
that's
want to
right.
do it. You know, you
Yes.
might be operating on a for peace sake paradigm, you know, but you
Yeah.
really don't own it. You know, and a matter of fact, and can you imagine you decide you go through defeated resignation, you resign yourself and doing this thing, and it still goes south. Man,
Oh,
that tell your cost. You see it? I mean, never want to do it. I mean, never want to do it, and you want to do it.
you're
oh,
right.
I tell you.
You
All
know?
right.
So,
Wonderful, wonderful discussion. Remember that if you have questions and comments, you can post them in the chat, and we will respond as we go along. Boy, Andre, you are a wealth of knowledge. But I tell you, this thing of mental health for men, and especially husbands in marriage, because one of the things I look at, Andre, in terms of God's design where marriage is concerned, where God places man as the head over the family. But if the man head, ma have a good, because if his head is not in a right place, then he can't be the head of the family either.
yeah, that's right.
And so, yeah, it is very important that if he wants to be the kind of leader that God calls him to be, the kind of husband that God calls him to be, father or whatever,
True.
then he has to make sure that that space that God mental capacity is also something that is very healthy.
Yeah,
Right? Because
Yes.
sometimes we run we absorb the idea of being the provider and protector, not realizing that in order to be a good provider and protector, it's not just about going out and working and all of that. It's also about being in the best mental place that you can be,
yeah,
right? And that's why many times you have fathers who are providing and protecting, but they are a menace to the family at home.
yeah. They're not priests.
Yes,
That's true.
yeah, I like that. I like
The
that.
next
I
piece,
like
the
that.
next piece,
They're
priest.
not priests.
Yeah, so
That's
if you
true.
must,
Yeah,
yeah. So provider, protector, but priest. It must be
priests.
a priest.
Yes,
And
yes.
if
But it's an awesome responsibility. It's an
Mm-hmm.
awesome responsibility.
yeah,
So
Yes.
as we continue the conversation, we want to look at some of the practical, some of the practical things that we can do as men that will help us to better navigate the space. And we want to look at, I don't know if we're going to get to go through everything tonight. You might have to decide to come back when the football not playing, but let's just go on. So, in our discussion, I want to bring out some things as we talk about
Mm-hmm.
cultivating healthier relationships and so forth. Um, the whole idea of pursuing change, don't just wait on things to happen. And I think, Andre, sometimes as men we kind of fall guilty in that and sometimes, and I don't know if it's because of what society gives us, but sometimes we are not as proactive as we ought to be. And when we often wait until the whole thing is falling down before we decide to do anything about it. And by the time it starts falling down, it is often too late. But
Yeah.
the idea of pursuing change, just elaborate on that for us.
Okay. I mean, for me, when we talk about pursue change, don't just wait for it.
Hmm.
If you want to have the right kind of mental health, protect your mental health, your mental space,
Hmm.
then what are you pursuing? For Andre Allen Casey, my peace is one of the main things I pursue. My
Yes,
peace.
yes.
And so because my peace is that important to me, and I want to lend and all of and anybody, male or female, but especially to the males, if you're on or if you're
Yes.
listening, or if you get a chance to listen at a later time, I want to talk to you right now. If you're going to pursue your peace, pursue your peace. Anything that you have, you know, um, you know. Now, for me, there are two things that I relish, and I recognize that for me
Hmm.
personally. My
Yeah.
my, my peace and my comfort. Not lie.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know
And that's
something?
all right.
And that's right.
But my peace is more important than my comfort.
Than your comfort. Hmm.
You see, so even if I'm uncomfortable, once I have peace, that
Yes.
is more important than whether or not I find comfort where I am or amongst my surroundings. And so all I'm just saying, so comfort is kind of secondary, but my peace is primary. And
Yeah.
so, but you have to find out. So when I say pursue and don't just wait for it, if if peace is that important to you, then it means that whatever you're going to set out to do, whatever in terms of your life and living, it must flow into that
Hmm.
goal, your peace.
Yeah.
And so um, when I say peace, I'm talking a peace of mind. You know,
Yes.
we're you know, whether somebody says something good or bad about you, it doesn't affect you because your peace of mind
Yeah. Your
is more
peace, your
important
peace of
to you. So
mind.
you're not going, so what if you get insulted? So what if, sorry, Raquel, so what if your wife not like you? You know, sorry, Paul. But I'm just, or sorry, Andre. You know, I'm just saying. So what if your daughter don't love you? And while those are noble things and they are important, all I'm just saying here, you know, your peace of mind, you have to be, you have to be very, very careful
Yeah.
that that you understand what your peace of mind must look like, because
Yeah. True.
the chances are you may attach some things that you believe is necessary for your peace of mind, but they are only going to put you into pieces.
Yeah. Well, true.
Chances are, just saying, it's true. No.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
might,
true.
yeah, man, you might feel like that having a good job it will give you peace. You might feel like having a non-nagging wife will give you peace, or you don't have non-nagging children and all those things. You might believe that those things will give you peace, and because you value those things so much, guess what happened? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, But all I'm just saying, it is important for you to find if peace is that important to you and you need to pursue it, that is one thing you need to pursue. I'm saying,
Yeah.
what are the things that you're doing to ensure that that goal is achieved?
Yeah.
All I'm also saying, however, you have to be very, very careful that the things that you think are important to you to give you peace are not things that is going to put you into pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's
true.
all.
True.
That's
You know,
that,
as I said,
that, that's
Andre.
my comment on what you
Yeah, man.
pursue. Why?
I want to, well, I'm not adding, what to what you say, but I just want to, in terms of how I look at it, because I share the same idea with you about peace. But I look at it, and this is again is me, for me, my peace is my home. For me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is happening. I could have the hardest day outside on the road, and I could be fighting the crowd out on the road. But you see, as long as I can come home, well, that for me is the best thing, and that's why I deliberately strive to maintain peace in the home,
Yeah.
because and Raquel would have heard me say it many times. When I go to bed at night, I don't matter who I owe money, I don't matter what happened. I don't If the whole world is tearing down, I get a good sleep because my home is my peace. And I look
Yeah.
forward to coming home. And so,
Yeah.
even as we talk about, our mental health, and protecting our peace and creating our peace, there's something that you said is very important. We have to understand how what value do we place on the things that we have around us in terms of our peace, because as you rightly said, some of us think that our peace is having a better job, being able to to put some money in the bank, or whatever, but peace stretches way beyond that.
True.
That's right.
And we have to be very deliberate at going after this peace, and the Bible speaks about that peace also, right? That only the good master can supply.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I like that, Andre. Yeah, man, protecting our peace and pursuing it.
Yes,
Right, it's
man.
very, very good. Yeah. So, when we talk, moving from peace now, um, one of the things, Andre, that constantly plague us, and I don't know, it seems to plague men more than it does women. Why? There's a whole heap of distractions in this world, and most of them are unhealthy,
True.
right?
True. Yeah.
In terms of us being better husbands and fathers and so forth, and being able to balance our mental health. How do we navigate the healthy and unhealthy distractions, knowing that they're always around? As you step through your door, as a matter of fact, you don't even have to step through your door for an unhealthy distraction, because it can also be present in the home.
Yeah. For me, any so here's what an unhealthy distraction could look like. I'm not
Hmm.
saying, I'm saying could,
Good. Yeah.
but could look like. Or let me rephrase that. I believe that every pain that we experience, and where the pain is taking us away from our goals, is
Hmm.
an unhealthy distraction.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, so all of a sudden, in other words, oh, you expect me to manage, and once you start to say how me, oh, you expect me to manage, start to name it out. See there, that distraction, I'm saying, becomes unhealthy because it is taken away from your ability to what, to manage.
Yeah,
See
true,
there,
true.
how you expect me
Okay.
to manage, and then you start to name the reasons why you can't manage. See there,
Yeah.
that now for me becomes an unhealthy
Hmm.
distraction. So for me, so the term unhealthy distraction is a concept, and
Yeah.
not
Yes.
just a list, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, man. Yeah, and I like that explanation. True,
right.
true, true.
So
Yeah.
it's more of a concept than a list. Um, because the truth is, I might list some stuff, and you say that's not unhealthy. Well, you see it. So to you,
Yeah.
it's not unhealthy, but I think it's
Yeah.
unhealthy, and the next person might think that that should not be unhealthy. Actually, that
Yeah.
should be
True.
healthy, and somebody might have their opinions on it. So for me, it's more a concept for me when in this word unhealthy. I'm saying so anything. So once our pain is taking us away from the goal,
Goal. Mm-hmm.
then and then we start to make excuses as to why the goal will no
Yeah.
longer, um, we're not looking to achieve it. Then and then put the unhealthy distraction out there and say, to say almost like listen, I can't do these things. So I reach into, there's a word that's come to my head, and I don't want to too much introduce it, but again, probably introduce it. All of a sudden now, we question our self-efficacy.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know, you question your ability to do because of your pain. So
Yeah.
you become distracted by your pain. So now you start to question your ability to do. And I'm saying that is an unhealthy distraction. Okay? Because now the tenacity and resilience that we would now need to cultivate so that we can still achieve the goal. For example, your peace.
Yeah.
You know, or what you're going to do. You're going to now allow yourself to break into pieces. You're going to now allow yourself to say, boy, I can't. It is easier said than done. You can go and talk. You're bread butter. You know, got you and me got you. What? I'm only human. What? We're going to start giving all of these different reasons now why the goal is not going to happen. If Christianity, let's say Christianity is a part of my goal, because in other words, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his own soul? So there's no way then the things of this world is going to give me my peace, because the Bible tells me, what does it
Yeah,
profit a
true,
man to gain
true.
the world and lose his own soul? And so all I'm just saying here, this is the priesthood of man now, of the husband in the home. Because we're still talking about that relationship
Yeah.
and mentality and his own peace. And so I guess I'm kind of saying here, if if he understands, uh, for lack of a better term, a part of his role. Some folks might use the word purpose. A part of his role and or even purpose. Then when he is able to accomplish it and do it, whether he gets the applaud from everybody or anybody, he is at peace because he was able to accomplish that. He's able
Yeah,
to
true.
leave a legacy with his family about what is it that he is supposed to pursue, what is it that they are to truly pursue in this life. Okay?
Yes, true.
And so let's say Christianity, we're just using that as an example. Let's say Christianity is the most important thing that you value, and that's what you're living for. Then, and which is a good thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes,
But I'm saying,
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
but all I'm just saying, let's hypothetically say that 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 is your goal. That's a part of the peace, that passes all understanding or transcends life and living for
Mm-hmm.
you. If that is so important to you, then all I'm just saying here, an unhealthy distraction now is when you no longer feel the need to pursue that. Why? Because everything around you tumble over. That is the
Yeah.
distraction. Where now it now becomes your talking point. Boy, I'm lose my job, you know. Boy, I'm not get for so and so, you know. Boy, my wife cheat on me, you know. Boy, I'm not nothing, you know. Boy, and see there. So what about, where do you find yourself developing resilience and tenacity to still push through to achieve that goal of Christianity? If all you
Yeah,
hear
true.
yourself say is announcing or being distracted by your pain, that I'm calling an unhealthy distraction. And
So
too many,
focus is important.
your four
Yeah.
are come what may.
Focus is
You,
important.
you,
Yeah,
you
true.
cannot, you have to be careful that your pain don't become your purpose.
Yeah. Why? Wow. I like that. Don't allow your pain to become your purpose. Right. Yeah, I like that.
So Andre, so I mean, excellent points, excellent points. Good, some you're dropping some good nuggets there. So how for somebody who, for a husband or a male who's not yet there, how would you help them to get to this place where they understand that the pain is will be taking them away from their goal?
All right. I mean, great question. For me, again, use even a biblical concept. I guess I don't know if it's passage. Maybe it's passage. I think it's more passage. It says, "What does worrying? How does worrying change?
Yes.
Anything.
outcome.
Yeah. What does it accomplish?
Yes.
Matthew chapter 6. How does
Mm-hmm.
worrying change the outcome? But not only that, in the same chapter 6, I think that the 30, 31 or something like that, where it says, sufficient for the days are the evils thereof.
Yeah.
Today
True.
Yes.
have enough evil of its own. Why
One.
do you plan to worry about what you never get to do? And all the problems that you have that you have encountered today. And if you carry it
Mm-hmm.
over tomorrow, you see, into tomorrow. And correction, if you worry about it today, did you get a chance to do it? No.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole reason why you're worrying about it, because you did not have
You
any
get a chance.
control where that outcome is concerned. Or
Yeah.
you didn't do enough, to change the outcome. So why not? You either didn't have enough, had any control over it, or you never do enough to change the outcome. So it was within your
Yeah.
control, but you never maximize on that. I guess I'm just kind of saying here. So you're gone into the worry boat, or it's for some people worry ship, right? And so I'm just saying,
Where is she?
I'm on a boat again, a ship now.
Yeah, man. That's true.
Yeah, man, airplane carrier. But
Yeah.
anyway, all I'm just saying, proper mix up in the snow, right? And that's all they do.
Yes.
And so my question to that person would be, or you ask me how. So maybe I'm not even. I'm big on concepts and perspectives, rather than give people points. I must
Mm-hmm.
admit, but
Yeah, man. No problem.
concepts and perspectives. I'm very big on that, because some points might not be suitable for a particular situation, although it's a good
Yeah.
point. But if you have a perspective, it can serve a wider context and situations. So
Mm-hmm.
that's but so I would say to that person, Raquel, how did the worrying change the outcome?
Good question.
And that's how we change, We
Yes.
just need to
True.
ask ourselves a different question to find
True.
out if what I'm doing is if what I'm doing is getting the job done, then good. I have
Yeah.
control of the outcome. I don't have to worry. But if but let's say I become distracted by worrying, and an unhealthy
Right.
distraction
Mm-hmm.
by,
Unhealthy
by worry,
distraction. Yes.
right? My question is, when you worried, when you're going on the submarine of worrying and you're gone down on the water now, you're on top now. You move
Yeah.
from boat to ship
I
to
drown.
submarine,
I drown,
right?
right?
you, you, you're gonna you're gonna see bottom now with it. Sorry, right? I'm exaggerating, but all I'm just saying here, when you do that, has it changed the outcome? And if your answer is no, then what automatically I would hope that you recognize then, yeah, but worry. I thought sometimes you must have a conversation with worry, Yeah, man, you must talk to worry. You must say worry, but you know, say you never helped me a while ago.
Yeah. True. Yeah. It's
Whole
true.
of today, me spend the whole of, me spend all of today upon you, and
No,
what?
no returns.
And
No
no
No.
returns.
else.
No.
Listen up, say you worry, you have no help to me. And I can carry your gut with me tomorrow. You must be crazy. You
You know,
know, come
Andre.
over with me tomorrow. You stay right here. So
What
now,
That's right.
I hear you saying, Andre, that even as we talk about navigating our mental health, that it's important for us to stop and evaluate, right? As to whether or not the things that we are doing, the goals are being achieved. Because any perspective you look at it from, it applies. If I step back and evaluate, am I doing what it takes to be the best husband that God wants me to be? When I step back and evaluate, am I being the best leader that God wants me to be? Because it can be that we are carrying so much and thinking that we are doing a world of good when in essence we really not achieving much. And as you said, you know, you have to sit and talk to worry sometimes.
Man, so you just say, worry, you know, say you never help me today. You did help me. No, I must have to stay, huh? No, but I know you're going to vex me, but you never help me today.
You
Which
never
one do
help.
you want today? Then
It's
the one
true,
today,
true, true.
with you. And
Yes.
I could have swear some outcome with that change, how much there. And this still happened to me.
Yeah.
And you want me to carry with me to come tomorrow? No, sir. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, you know what tomorrow must do? Tomorrow must be a look upon yesterday or today. Tomorrow must be looking at today and say, oh, we behave and say to we say, if you ever come if you ever come with that today, a
So
strike.
that's
Yeah.
yes. That's the importance of the reflection.
Yes, yes. But Andre, as you know, how do we um navigate pain? Yeah, as we talk about, you know, navigating our mental health, how do we deal with pain as husbands? Whether it is pain that we carry over into our relationships or pain that might even occur in the relationship, right? Because uh, I don't know, but is it? I think men can carry things for a very long time. We often accuse women of carrying things, but I think men can hold on to a lot.
See, to me, and since we're talking about you know, our mental health and mental equilibrium, I'm going to share a term that my
You
wife
created, you made it
I-
up?
I'm going to share a term that my wife helped me to appreciate,
Okay.
and that term is to what end?
Okay.
To what end?
To what end? Believe you me, there are different times that I've been going through. I mean, rough period, and I want to make certain decisions and choices, and it's two things she would say to me: to what end, and this too will pass. Those two things: to what end, and this too will pass. And so for me, and and like I said, no, it's if you don't have a perspective where life and living is concerned, you're
Yes.
going
True.
to then life and living is going to regulate and dictate what your life look like.
Well,
For
true.
me,
Very true. Very
for me,
true.
boy, I'm all about taking from life what I want, not taking what life give to me. I'm
That's true.
all about what? Taking from
Taking
life
what
what
you
I
like.
want and not what
That's
life gives to me.
As life will give you a whole heap of things.
Life give me some things where you don't want.
you're right.
And,
True,
You're
and,
right
it's
true.
not-
about that
and
one.
it's not enough for me, it's not enough to say, why a life? No, man. Defeated resignation that.
Whoa. Yeah.
A
That's
life?
so.
Yeah, man. The amount of time we allow ourselves to become defeated, and we don't realize that it is affecting our mentality, because we resist the defeat that we accept, or we resist the defeat that we feel like we have no choice
But
you know
upset.
but to accept it. And I'm saying, maybe if you have a concept that says, I can take from life. I can take from life what I want, not what life give to me. Then
So
no,
you have to learn. You have to learn how to let it go.
yeah, my decision now determines my destiny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My
But
decision now determines my destiny. It's on me. And so if it's on me, I'm like, look here. Sometimes we use the term where there's life, there's hope. Well,
yes, yes.
well, if you believe it, then then
Live
then,
it.
then operate in a place that will give you hope and not doom.
Yeah.
Do the
Yeah, yeah,
things.
true. It's very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Because all I'm just saying here, if we're talking about your mental health, that's the what we're really talking about, your mental health. So we're saying husbands, primary persons are here, although whatever we're sharing here possibly can help, whether you're man or woman or husband or wife. All I'm just saying here, but it's a pain. Then I'm saying you must ask yourself a question. All right, let me show you a concept here. I'll show you a concept here. Yeah, I'll use this. I can show you. I hope you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
All righty. Um, and this was developed by this guy. His name is Andre Allen Casey. I know him very well. I can lend it to you, you know. But yeah, but you know, remember we
Hey,
had
man,
but we can't lend
no
it.
problem.
Remember the source. Remember the source.
All right, watch this. And to answer the pain thing here, and I hope all your
Right.
listeners are whatever. If you are sticking me,
Yes.
all right, let me fix it. Let me fix it. If I am if I am bringing pain to my wife, so that's me. I'm sticking her. She has there are 2 to 3. I'm going to use the word 3. So it's the first time, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first time this is going to. I'm doing this. I've never done this before, so I'm going to do it right here now. Normally I use 2, again use 3 this time. I hope I remember what the third one is. All right, what can I do? Watch this. Stay with me now. What 3 ways? And let's see if both of you can figure out the 3 ways. What 3 ways I can go about to relieve myself of pain if my wife is sticking me?
Go again.
So there are 3 ways that I can relieve myself of pain. Okay? Or let me use this word. And or manage it. See, you get it already. So I'm give you one of the answer them. So now I go back to 2 because I gave away one of the answer already. So let me behave as if to say I did not say it. So what 3 ways can be utilized by you, by Andre? Who's sticking who again? I'm sticking her?
You're
Yeah.
sticking
Yeah.
her. You're
I'm
sticking
sticking
her.
her. What 3 ways can Renee execute to relieve herself of pain? So tell me what 3 ways.
Well, you said she could manage it.
All right.
We didn't hear the.
Burn.
She
All
can,
right.
yeah, she can manage, or she can
Can
remove
remove
herself
herself
from
from
it.
it.
I'll remove ourselves from it. Okay.
Well, that is 2. I don't, what is the third one?
Or she can ask him to stop.
Oh, okay. Yes, true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
These are the 3 ways. Now watch this. What we do not want to manage it. We do not see that as an option in dealing with pain. See, and because of that perspective, taking away myself out of it is going to be my first
First
walk
option.
away to take myself away from the pain.
Yeah.
Is the first thing that we naturally want to do, because we don't even like to ask you to stop, because in our minds, say you realize say you joke me. You must know say you joke me. When we need to go ask you to stop again for give me a ball over here, sir. How come I
Yeah.
need to ask you to stop again? I'm crying because of what you're doing. I don't need to say to you, stop now, please stop sticking me. I don't need to be saying that to you. The fact that I am reacting this way is a manifestation that I'm in pain. And who is causing the pain? You are. So asking you are trying to have another way of communicating to you, not only the pain I'm feeling, but inviting you to cease and desist. We're not going to spend too much time doing that.
Yeah,
Which
true.
means
It's true.
that to say, my defeated resignation, if I have to then remove myself to relieve myself of pain, I'm still upset. So all
Yeah.
I did was to mechanically take myself out of pain, but emotionally, mentally, I am still in pain.
You're still there. Yeah.
Because I did not, because first and foremost, I felt like I had to,
Take away yourself.
which I did not want to. The truth is, I really did not want to take away myself, because the nature of the relationship is going to change if I take away myself. We might have to end up a divorce, or you go live with this person and whatever you want. And not only that, I'm gonna tell everybody how much time you joke me. I'm going to tell you, which means that I'm still in pain, right? And so, but suppose you have a perspective that says this too will pass. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
you must stay in an abusive relationship. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I am just saying here it is. Just suppose. You ask, how do we deal with pain? It's not is just because water coming out of the boat, it means it was sinking. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
that's all I'm just saying. Just because
But
water coming out of the
you
boat, it
know,
means it was sinking.
Andre, as you said that, it just something just occurred to me a while ago that even in counseling couples, that sometimes that's why divorce is sometimes the first thing that couples think about, rather than navigating the situation, because many people end up in divorce, and when you sit down and evaluate the situation, you're sometimes as a counselor you're left to wonder then why. Right?
You
Because
couldn't have
these
worked it through,
these are
manage
things
it.
that people would have navigated through, and come out on the other side,
Yeah.
and enjoy in their relationship.
Right.
And sometimes, even as we talk about the men's mental health, as you rightly said, we have to learn to manage situations rather than at the earlier part we talk about going to the extreme, or
Yeah.
sometimes we end up as being going to the extreme.
Yeah.
Whereas if we had learned to manage situations, we would not end up in some of the places that we end up. So you are correct in what you said, right? And I
And
like that.
yeah.
I like that illustration.
And the truth is to say, I have to be careful because I don't want people listening think that I am advocating abuse. That's not what I'm
No,
doing.
no, definitely not.
Far
Definitely
from it.
not.
Because remember, here's what I'm saying to folks. It's if you make a choice, back it. If you
Yeah,
make a
true.
choice, back it. Think about that. But not only back it along with the consequences. So if you
Yeah,
can take
true.
yourself out of pain, if you think your best course of action is to take yourself out of it,
There are
then
some consequences that come with it.
then whatever the consequence come with it, you are satisfied with it. You can't
And you
take
must be
yourself out
willing.
of
Yeah,
pain.
man, you must own it.
You must
You
own
can't
it.
you can't take yourself out of pain and put yourself in another pain.
Yeah, true. Very
Might
true.
have,
Very true.
maybe you could have learned to tolerate this one here. I'm just saying maybe you could have learned to tolerate this one here. Maybe you could learn to tolerate it. Because
Yes.
can you imagine it's like you give up one pain for another. Let me take myself out of this physical pain, but emotionally for the rest of my life. Man not good, woman not good, me not never marry again. This not, all you did was exchange one pain for the next.
One. Yes. Very
So if
true.
you get to
Very
take
true.
yourself out of pain, we're talking about pain. If you can take yourself out of pain, don't put yourself in another one.
Wow.
So if you make a
Wow.
choice, back it.
So
Make
learn
certain
from
that
the pain.
you
So,
So
can
you're
find your
saying learn
peace.
from the pain and don't live on it.
so Andre, I have laughed. You know why? I will talk about navigating husband, changing the wife. Not going. Not, not going to help you.
I'm not going to say anything on that one. You're right.
Men,
Sometimes you
men,
trade.
men
You think you trade up, but you trade down.
yeah, there are so many men who end up they're in relationships, and think that because that you're not enjoying your marriage because you're going through stuff, then it is better somebody else is out there that is better. And usually it doesn't
Doesn't.
work out.
Yeah.
Right?
Oftentimes.
Because as you rightly said, you're exchanging one pain for
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why sometimes you have some men end up marrying all four times, and then everybody asks them, how come you're married four times? There's always something wrong with the woman
Yeah.
when you,
Yeah.
when you are the
Common
common
enemy.
denominator.
Yeah. Right. So I'm just saying, if you can take yourself out of pain, don't put yourself in another one, right?
Yeah, very true, very true.
But so if you can take yourself out of it, know that the decision you made to take yourself out of the pain was a good, healthy, God-fearing one. God,
Yes,
it,
and
it-
you,
you know,
and you're
God
willing to
fearing.
live
In other
with the
words, God also
consequences.
approve of your decision
Yeah,
to,
very
to be
true, very
removed.
true.
God
Yes, very
also
true.
approved of your decision to be removed. Sure, write
Yes.
that one down. But I
One,
understand.
wonderful. All right, boy. I tell you,
Is it the time, Andre?
1 hour has gone already, and we don't even scratch the surface yet. Boy, this has been a lovely conversation.
Press.
Paula said, I agree. Talk to worry. She get that from Andre. Must talk
Not
to
to worry.
worry. And Muriel Johnson says, walk away from the sticking. If you choose to stay. Well, Andre, it has been wonderful. It has been wonderful.
So
This can be
officially we have a part two.
this has to be a part two, right? So you have next week off. We are on the first and the third Fridays. So
You want us to do this part two on the next one?
yeah, no man, we have to
We
do
have
part
to.
two.
Okay.
This cannot be a one part conversation.
No, in terms of the
Right?
next one.
But yes, Andre, we are indeed very, very happy. You are the right person for this conversation. As we wrap up tonight, you have dropped some nuggets, right? You have dropped some nuggets that I honestly believe will help our men to navigate this wonderful thing that is called marriage, because marriage is wonderful, but there needs to be some work, and you are telling us how to do the work. Muriel says, but now can you know if the other, or how can you know if the other person will? I'm not sure what Muriel is saying. But, all right, send that to me in an email, and we can talk about it. All right. But yes, Andre, thank you so much for being on the platform with us, and we look forward to having part two to this conversation of navigating husbands' mental health. You are that person that we can always look to have these kind of conversations.
I just want to say one of the main points that came out from it sorry tonight is that you cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it.
Yeah, very true.
That's one of the essence, the main points that came to me. How you respond to it, how you choose to respond, is what makes a big difference. So, as we prepare for the next time, we want to thank you for being here. You can reach out to us by email at
Level up your marriage
levelupyourmarriage
coc at gmail.com. That's level up your marriage coc at gmail.com. Or you can call us at my number is 876-835-6524. That's 876-835-6524. And Raquel's number is 876-421-6722. That's 421-6722. Until next time, this has been another Level Up Your Marriage. We look forward to having you again on the platform where we'll discuss all things marriage and relationships. God bless. Until next time.
Bye bye.
They can never take the love in this place.
Living by the Word Radio.
Living by the word radio.
Broadcasting faith, truth, and inspiration throughout the Caribbean and beyond. Faith, truth, inspiration.
You're listening and viewing Living by the Word Radio.
Living by the Word Radio.
Where faith comes alive.